Hey y'all, I'm sitting here waiting for some food. Good old Hardee's, right? Fast food, but then you gotta wait. A friend of mine, I keep telling you that friends are the ones that are pushing me because I don't think I left a video. I haven't posted this week. But they reminded me, hey, I didn't see you post. Couldn't think of what to talk about. So that's going to be the challenge. What do you talk about? What do you talk about, right? But it just came to me. I want to share something with you. And I have two kids, two grown people. Hold on. Okay. Okay, so I have grown kids. And my son lives in another state. And really, since when I was first separated, which was a long time ago, 2010, my ex and I, once we were in different residences, the kids, my son was the high schooler. He was a high schooler. My daughter was 20. Yeah, my daughter was 20 at that point. So they could come and go, right? There was no agreement who lived with who. It was come and go as you please. And so my son, I would say, lived with me. But again, we go back to his dad's house. So really from 2010, and then it might have been, I can't remember, 2012 that I kind of went through some things, and he did go to live back with his dad. And so my son, for all intents and purposes, has not lived with me since 2012. Somewhere around there. 2011, 2012. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get through this story. Here is the point of joy in the journey. It's a journey, and there's some really curvy and deep valleys, like curvy and mountains and valleys and really deep places and some dark places on your journey. It's wonderful to get to a place of joy, but there's just a lot to go through. And so even in my retelling this, like instantly going back to that place, like I feel it in my throat. I feel it in my chest, right? But I'm still on this journey. I'm still here. And it's a blessing. That was the days of long distance charters, so you didn't talk a lot on the phone with your parents, right? But things have changed, and some parents and their grown kids, or even their young kids, well, I'll say the grown kids, they talk every day. You talk 7 times a day, FaceTime, texting, and that hasn't been me. I look, you good, I'm good, you good, like, we're good. And it doesn't mean that I don't love them, right? We're just different. Everybody shows it differently. Okay. Not lived with my son for 12 years. So in that time, I was going through a lot. But at that time, I was still in the area. So I saw him, I saw him more regularly. Not even that regularly. I can't even tell you that we saw each other once a month, but more regularly. Since I have now moved away, I'm now 4 hours away from him. And I moved to where I am now to essentially be closer to my parents, who are aging. And in that time, that's where my attention has been on my dad primarily. I mean, my mom too. And when you get caught up in life like that, and then I'm in school, and then there's just life, You get caught up and you don't allow yourself to feel things. And I don't think I allowed myself to feel the absence of my son. And my daughter, because my daughter's here now, but that wasn't the case. But so I'll say I didn't allow myself to miss my children, to feel the absence of my children, because you're moving and grooving. And again, we would talk whatever. A month or so ago, I was with my son, and I was with my son alone, and we just hung out. We went to a restaurant, we came back to his place, we binge watched Cross, we talked. Well, it wasn't a long visit. We talked, we caught up, and then in the morning I had to leave. It was like 3 days later, it hit me. It was like it just came down on me. I think I might have even been talking to my daughter, and I think I went to say, I miss your brother, and it just tears, instantly tears. And it's not a bad thing. It's a good thing to be in touch with your feelings. But I just didn't realize it. And I realized also, I think probably the thing as a mom that made me sad is that I realized he's probably been feeling it too. And as my boy child, he doesn't always express himself and his feelings. And so that made me feel even a little more sad. Here is the joy. Here is the joy. Here is the whole point of all my rambling. Hang in there. I'm getting there. I decided, and that's the greatest thing. You could make a decision. I decided, right? If you have a problem, you have to figure out how to solve it. I called him and I said, we're going to FaceTime every day. Now that might even feel intrusive. I haven't even asked him yet. Does that feel intrusive? Is that too much? And we haven't mastered it. But I know in this last week, since we've been doing it, I have talked to my son more in this last week than I have in a long time. And back to my realization. Last year, I realized I only saw him 3 times. I haven't had any real extended time with him. But I didn't feel it because I was moving and grooving or not moving and grooving. I was a little down and out. I was dealing with my dad and then the death of my dad and just everything. So joy in the journey. I always am gonna keep saying that, joy in the journey. So I'm sharing the hard part. But for me right now, the solution, the joy is, because you can make a decision. You can really, as long as you have a new, air in your lungs and breath to breathe, you can change pretty much any situation. It's a choice. So I'm choosing this. And like I said, we haven't mastered it. He said, Mom, pick up your phone. You never pick up your phone. But we're getting there. I just talked to him a few minutes ago. And I told him, hey, I'm going out and he's going out. And I feel checked in with my son. And that makes me happy. So that's all my rambling is about today. Is make a decision. Make a choice. Change something. If something's not making you happy, make a choice. Change it. It could be just as simple as talking to somebody every day. We're not, and again, even as we've been doing it, I was like, maybe this is too much, but it's not, right? What does it take? I'm not saying I have to have a 30-minute conversation with him. Really, it can just be a good morning. You have a great day. But, just make a decision Make a decision for yourself. See it through. And be joyful. Alright, and forgive me and this crazy, wacky phone. Well, I'll get it. I'll figure this thing out. Alright, have a great day, everyone.